today, kasi naisip ko, may share something na that would be helpful for the advisor. This is just parang biglaang topic lang. So, ayun, if there are advisors watching sa mga friends ko, I hope that this stream or this live video will help you with regards to your class list. So, trial lang. Explore tayo, wala tayong magawa, diba? Okay, so, today I'm going to share how to format your class list. So, we know naman na iba-iba yung format na nakukuha natin sa yung class list natin, iba-iba yung format na nabibigay sa atin. Like, majority, we got the class list na magkasama yung last name and first name, and then, may iba naman separate sila. And when it comes to our class record, yung template ng class record natin requires separate last name to the first name. So, what happened to some teachers, they just try to copy paste or do hardcore formatting para lang masunod yung format na hiwalay si last name and first name or magkasama si first name at last name. So, I have here two tips, Excel tips that would help you to lessen the time to format your class list. So, in this new normal rather, we need to be, to maximize our time and be wais sa paggamit ng time natin, especially in some of the matters. But anyway, so I prepare an Excel file and I just provided, I don't know if you can see it there. So, I prepared how many students? I have 13 students. So, let's say for example, you have 13 students. And what you're going to do is, of course, you have to number it para alam mo kung ilan yung student mo. So, in numbering, let's say you're numbering 1 to 40, you don't need to number them one by one na 1, 2, 3, hanggang 40. So, we use series in Excel. Yan. Medyo mabagal siya. Diba? Ang bagal. So, kailangan natin invest sa mga devices natin with this new normal. Kasi hindi pwedeng mabagal yung okay, there. So, when you do series, you make sure that you have first two and 3 or 1, 2, 1 and 2, something like that. And then just highlight the two data, and then click the fill handle below. Then drag it down to make a series. So, kung meron kang 100 students, you don't need to sweat para lang mag numbers 1 to 100. So, ayun, that's the simplest way to do number series in Excel. Now, in our data, we have here last name and first name combined. So, typically, ito yung natatanggap natin from registrar. So, what we do in the old ways, we copy, we highlight, and then just cut the first name. Diba? Parang ginagawa natin dati, ganyan, highlight mo yan, then cut mo to, tapos space mo. So, napaka-hassle nung ganon. At napaka-hassle din itong kasi ang bagal niya. Okay. Well, trial lang naman to. Pero at least sana may makukuha tayo dito sa trial ko. So, what you need to do is, we will apply the text-to-column. So, we are going to divide yung magkasamang first name and last name into last name and first name. So, what we're going to do is highlight the data. And that's very important. Highlight the data and go to Data tab. So, in Data tab, yan, antayin natin siyang antayin lang natin, nagme-merienda pa si Data. Yan. Wait lang, mga 10 years, ganon. Okay. Okay, so while my laptop is loading, Um, Yun. So, we're now in Data tab. And then, you have to click Text to Column. So, there. That's Text to Column. So, what we're going to do is, we're going to separate yung mga magkakasama. And we're going to use the delimiter. Delimitation. Saka makasaya, saka komportable. Okay. May kabagalan today yung aking laptop. So, please bear with it. Ayun. So, ayan. Lesson learned, kailangan talaga mag-invest sa mga technology nowadays. Like ito, Stone Age na tong laptop ko. But this is what I have, so let's just maximize it. May nagpa-pop up. May nagtubi-message. Okay. Alright. So, when you click text to column, okay, wait lang, may nagme-message. So, you have to click delimited pala. I'm so sorry. So, delimited. So, characters such as comma or tab separates each field. So, here in our data, so last name is last name and first name. In between them may comma. Kamusta ang pag-OBS ko? Sakto lang. Okay. So, when you click delimited, you have to click next. And then here, the delimiters, you have to choose the delimiters that you have in your data that separates the last name sa first name. So obviously, we have comma and spaces. But we will just click comma kasi yun lang naman yung nagsiseparate sa first name and last name. Now, on the data preview, you will see that masiseparate na si last name kay first name. So, typically naman in our class record, first name and middle initial are in one column. So, we don't need to separate it. But, if you need to separate those three, like the last name, first name, and middle initial, so you have to select sa delimiters, what are those tawag na to, punctuations that separates them. Like, if you want the middle initial to be in another column, so kailangan mong i-click si space. So, may kita mo yan. So, since may space din yung second name nila, ganyan. But for this sample stream, we're just going to click comma. So, last name and first name lang ang maghihiwalay. Then, click next, and then finish. So, waiting galore. There. So, makikita mo na here na na-separate na si last name kay first name. So, you're just now going to update your label. Okay. I prepare here this one. So, copy-paste na lang natin si ayan. Ito. So, Control-C. Then, go to text to column. That's our first topic. And then, Control-V. Ayan. O, diba? Separate na. Now, as you can see, my label, ang only thing na naka-format is si last name. So, napag-iiwanan si number and first name. So, in a traditional way, what we're going to do is we identify anong name ng font, anong kulay ng fill, para yun din i-apply natin dun sa column na hindi pa formatted. But the simplest way to format your data, if there is an existing format that you just need to apply to a particular data, we utilize Format Painter. Yan. So, si Format Painter, it copies the format, the text, or kunyari, what's the font, what's the color, what's the size. But it's not copying the content, just the format. So, when we click the brush, the Format Painter brush, so you would know na activated na siya once na parang may grayish background na siya or parang square. Then, you're going to click the format that you're going to apply to another data. So, we're going to click last name. Ay, mali pala. Sorry. So, you have to select first pala the data that you want to apply to the other data before you click the Format Painter. And then, so once Format Painter is selected, you will see that there is a paintbrush. So, yung paintbrush na yan, may carry na siyang format. So, when you stroke it or click that data, automatically nag-apply na. So, again, you need to select first the format that you want to copy to another data before you click Format Painter and then apply it to that data. Ayun. So, ito naman, gawin mo lang center, ayusin mo na lang yung format ng class record mo per se. Ganyan. Iyon. So, yan, kung gusto mong center to, yan. Okay. So, that's the first part. First, we separate yung data na magkasama yung first name at last name. So, sineparate natin sila. Kasi usually, nakakatanggap talaga tayo ng data na magkasama sila and napaka-hassle na mag-copy-paste, copy-paste ka pa. So, as you can see, I have 13 students and it took me few seconds lang to finish this one. Ayun. Okay. So, I utilize text-to-column and to format the rest of the class record, like the label, I use Format Painter for an easier way to format it if they already have an existing format. Now, paano naman kung kailangan nating magkasama sila sa isang column? So, parang bumalik tayo sa baliktad naman this time. So, yung data na meron ka is magkahiwalay yung last name sa first name. Pero may form sa school na kailangan magkasama sila sa entry. So, what we're going to do, so let's try to label it student's name. Okay. So, for those who are asking, I'm using OBS. It's a free software application. So, if you also want to try streaming for your classes, siguro you can do it also. Like, you can pre-record your lesson and then, or you can do streaming through Facebook or YouTube. Anyway, going back to our business. Wow, business. Okay. So, under the column F, we're going to combine the last name and the first name. Here, we're going to use the concatenate. So, may formula na dito. So, how to do that? So, all formula begins with an equal sign. And then you need to select the first entry. So, which is the last name. So, when you click last name, so you're going to add the concatenate sign or the ampersand or typical. Although magkasama sila, syempre kailangan pa rin ng symbol na magsi-separate kay last name at kay first name. And that is the quotation. In Excel kasi, when you conduct formula, Excel cannot recognize text, lalo na pag sa formula. So, let's say, for example, gusto mo yung end output ng formula, magre-reveal siya ng text. So, you have to enclose that in a quotation. Okay? So, we click the double quote, and then we're going to put comma and space. Kasi we want, after the last name, there's a comma, and then there's a space before the first name. And then, enclose it again with a double quote. And then, click, call it concatenate. I just call it. Select the next data that you want to input. Then, click enter. So, yun, magkasama na sila. So, again, equal sign. Then, click the cell reference of the first data. Then, if you want to add delimiters, like comma or spaces, just make sure to enclose it with a quotation. Then, don't forget to put the concatenate sign before the next data. So, do you need to apply the same formula one by one if you have, let's say, 100 students? So, of course not. So, the good thing about Excel is it makes our lives easier, especially in formatting. So, since we have the fill handle here, so that's small box, you can just simply drag it down. There, magkakasama na sila. So, let's say, for example, isubmit mo yung class list pero sa Microsoft Word. So, hindi sa Excel. So, ibig sabihin, extract mo pa tong data na to sa isa pang software app. So, don't forget that if you need that particular thing, burahin mo muna yung formula. E, paano mo buburahin yung formula? Di mo mawala rin yung, yung content. No, what you're going to do is, parang gagawin mo lang siyang text na lang. Wala na yung formula. So, how do I do that? So, since we have an existing formula here, just select all the data that you have and then Control C to copy. And on that same column, just click paste special lang. Ang bagal eh. Ayan, paste special values. Shortcut key that I'm using for the paste special is Alt-ES and then I select V just to copy the value. So earlier, when I click a particular cell, for just copy the value transfer it, wala error or wala kang makokopy at all. So, mas maganda, let's say, you're going to transfer this to another Excel file, magiging error siya. So, make sure na remove mo muna yung formula and dapat dalhin mo lang yung data na kailangan mo. Okay? So, yeah. So, that's it for this simple streaming. I am just trying talaga I'm just curious. I got curious on how to do stream. And since nag-try na rin naman tayo, so I share a simple tricks to you that you can apply to your class list. So I hope you learned something and I hope this will help you for the future. And yeah, see you again next time. Bye!